After a long day, finally we are here to celebrate. I think we've heard a lot of presentations, a lot of technical stuff, but now it's festive time, and we are happy to celebrate the graduation ceremony of our second cohort. I thank all of you for joining us today, all our students. One of our ex-students is also there, our faculty members from 3 universities. Thank you also, AIMPA team and members that you're here with us. And last but not the least, I need to really thank Dr. Zombo from Fondazione Cariplo that he's joining us today. He's been and he's followed us in this Virgilio journey. I need to thank Fondazione Cariplo for envisioning and funding this program. We started Virgilio as an experiment. Professor Bonecchi is here. She's part of our leadership team. And it was the leadership team from 3 universities started this program as an experiment to enable students gain an insight into research. And 5 years down the line, with our second cohort graduating today, I think we can easily confirm that early exposure to research at an undergraduate level does, set students think about integrating a research career probably later in life. From the point of view of students, it's certainly challenging. It's a lot of workload. Thank you, all of you, for having completed the Virgilio program requirements. You followed the courses, you did your lab rotations. Some of you even went abroad for your lab rotations. You also participated in presenting papers, posters across various forums. You attended elective seminars. So you've done a lot, and I thank each one of you for completing it. And now, as you all embark on diverse paths in your life, we want to wish you a bright future, good luck, and lots of happiness. I think we heard today we all need to balance our lives, pursue our passion, and live holistically. So I wish you all the best. Thank you.
This is Marita that, as you know better than me, made all this conference, but also
thank you. It's been a pleasure. And I think
of our plans possible.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure for us too. Thank you, Claire. I will. No, there's no presentation now. Okay. It's the time to announce the best presentation. I think I'll invite Andrea to do that.
So just before the graduation ceremony, I wanted to let you know that out of the 6 presentations we've heard just before, based on 4 evaluators, professors, the one that reached the highest score was Christoph Affelflinger.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Do you fly or do you have a train to come back?
I have a train.
Oh, okay.
Are you coming tonight for dinner?
Yes, I am. I'm going tomorrow.
Congratulations. Look at the...
Thank you so much.
But I would like to congratulate you all, because we were discussing during the coffee break amongst us the level and interest of all the presentation was really high, and we were all surprised because we've seen the quality of the presentations growing, because we've had Virgilio students with us for 2 years during our virtual conferences, and we've seen how your abstracts and all the quality of the presentations is being better and better over time. So the program is surely a success.
I'll invite Professor Bonecchi. She is part of a leadership team from Humanitas University she'll be sharing a few insights into our program. Lui controlla di là. Come riusciamo a lasciare qua?
Ok.
No, because it's controlled.
Ecco fatto. Questo sarà il point. So, good afternoon, everybody. I'm really very happy to be here to see you, all you students, new and old students. And so only few minutes, I will be really fast because I think everybody is tired today. And I'm here in representation of the Virgilio program leadership team. And sorry. So only for the EMPA, because people, so I remember you that the program starts a few years ago, so and we have recruited, is a joint with the 3 universities of the Milano area, and we recruited 5 cohorts of students, more or less 30 students a year, and we have a low percentage of withdrawal. So you see this is the gray box here, so I think we are really successful in this. And this was possible because we were sustained by Carplo Foundation, and we have previous experience with MD, PhD programs and all other programs of training of medical students in research. And our come si fa a girare? No. Non va. Fatto. Perché questo no? Adesso va, si era bloccato. And so really fast, so the mission is to try to train medical students in the research. And what we do is to organize courses to improve the knowledge of the so-called skills, methodological skills, but also scientific and writing, scientific communication, and students are then supposed to, they have a lab rotation of 1 month a year. And so the objective of my talk is to present you the result of a small experiment that we did. So Richa, 3 years ago, she gave a survey to students at the starting of the Virgilio, and then again we give the survey at the end of the Virgilio, at the second cohort of the students, so the one that are today graduating, and and the objective is to see if our program is working, so if we are reaching the goals that we would like to have. So the cohort, you see, it's not so big. We have only 22 students, and probably it is missing a negative control, but we can start to try conclusion. So the students start the program. So the green bar is the pre-test, so the survey before the Virgilio, and the blue is the results of the test after the Virgilio. And you see the question referring to the role of science in medical doctor activity. So in this, students start a program strongly believing that science and scientific knowledge of the scientific method is necessary in medicine. We have only a little increase in this perception, but so having 5x maximum, you see the student starts already with a very high belief that understanding science is necessary for medical doctor activity. Referring to the relevance of the research to the personal interest, again, you see pre and post test we did doesn't change too much the results. We have only one, so students, you believe that it's critical to be familiar with scientific research for their activity as medical doctor. There is a small increase, and even if they understand, so you understand that it is a time-consuming activity. Then, again, everybody, starting from the beginning, is agreed that research has to be part of a medical school curriculum, and that the participation in the research promote critical thinking, so it's necessary for a medical school curriculum. So the good results, so the difference between the pre and the post test are in this slide. So, at this question, I can read and understand scientific literature papers. So there is a really doubling of the score we have, and also I can apply lab technique once learned during a laboratory rotation. Again, there is an increase, and also I feel confident in interpreting and writing a research paper. So I think that for these, these are the main point of our program. So was teaching to you students to acquire capability to read papers, to write papers, to understand the scientific communication, to learn some technique in the lab. And so these results are telling us that we are, so in this year we were able to teach you all these points. So in conclusion, we believe that early exposure of medical students to research, as we did as we normally do during the Virgilio program, is very helpful for students that would like to do scientific research in their career, but also increase the understanding of the role of scientific research in the medical doctor activity, and also increase the confidence, especially confidence in reading and writing scientific articles. And we believe that all medical schools probably has to offer this kind of formation to students, so that probably medical schools need to offer lab rotation to every student, because in the future probably you so all you and also students in the future here need to know at least to have seen some scientific research and to understand scientific writing in order to be very good doctors. And of course, not only this, but medical school should offer some research path for really students that would like to pursue this kind of activity. And so medical school need to support this kind of research career progression by, as we were discussing today, by providing specific track or for the progression on this kind of pathway. So I don't have an acknowledgement slide, but I would like to thank Richa. Richa, she's fundamental also for this part. So she has done all the survey I was presenting, and all you students that have answered to the survey. Thank you. Of course, if you have questions. So what do you think is missing in this survey? So if you think to this survey as an experiment, what is missing? Parla forte.
Can you hear me? Oh, now it works? Okay. No, my first impression, I think, when I first also filled in the form was that probably if someone has joined the Virgilio program, already has an interest in, at least believes that it will improve their training. So maybe there is a little bias, selection bias to begin with.
Yeah.
And what's missing?
So we don't have a prize, but in your opinion, what is missing in this survey comparing pre and post Virgilio student? Control, yes. So the control is missing. Chi ha risposto? Yes, so is. So you need a cohort of students without Virgilio. Exactly. So because
as you were saying, people, also the understanding of scientific literature. After 3 years in medical school, you're going to understand scientific literature better, regardless.
So we hope that the courses you are attending will improve this capability also. But of course, we probably have, but we have to analyze this data better with bigger courses, bigger numbers, and so please answer to questionnaire when you receive them, and then also to have a control cohort of students. Okay, thank you.
I'll invite some of our students to share their experiences. I would like to first invite Naz Tuzker from Humanitas University. Naz completed her MD program, and now she'll be joining residency in pediatrics at UNIMI. Naz has specially flown from Istanbul today. Thanks a lot, Naz.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the introduction. I'll briefly share with you my experience with the Virgilio program. It mainly happened in one lab of adaptive immunology with Professor Kallikurdis. I had never stepped foot in a lab before my rotation, so it was a lot of learning how to work in a sterile way under the sterile hood without contaminating anything. I was given my cell cultures, for example, without antibiotics, and I'd have to grow them and not contaminate them. Apart from the manual work, we learned how to read papers, analyze papers, see how to construct experiments, and mainly see the hardship that goes into creating a study and trying to publish it. And through the guidance of my mentor and through these internships, I decided to also do my thesis in the adaptive immunology lab. My thesis was based on whether idiopathic infertility had immunological mechanisms underlying it. So whether women infertile for unknown reasons had an immunological mechanism for which they couldn't get pregnant. The project involved collecting specimens from the fertility clinic, me performing the experiment, which was staining the specimens with appropriate antibodies, and then running the experiment with the cell sorter at the flow cytometry lab, which usually needs to be booked weeks in advance, but we had maybe a day before we would know the arrival of the specimen. And so this project took a lot of coordination and collaboration between different departments, different labs, and a lot of kindness and help from the team that helped me and guided me through this process. Thanks to this experience, I got to glimpse into the world of what a physician scientist would be. I would go to the fertility clinic and watch ultrasounds of patients who had idiopathic infertility. And maybe these were patients who couldn't get pregnant for years. And then I'd watch the gynecologist try to get their informed consent by explaining to them that scientific discovery happens thanks to their help, their contribution, and that tomorrow's patient will benefit from their help today. And then with shaking hands, I'd go to the lab and try to do my part, because if I made a mistake, it would block the project from moving forward. Working in a project that needed perfect and strict collaboration between the hospital and the lab environment showed me that constructing the right experiment can help benefit patients' lives. And maybe it will give them a new diagnostic plan, a new therapeutic plan, or simply just some answers to their questions. So overall, this experience makes me want to be both a medical doctor and a scientist to solve clinical problems by creating the right experiments for them. In the future, I hope to do a PhD and bring forward this journey we started by joining this program. Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Anna Ciobanu from Unimi. Anna too completed her MD, and now she's starting her residency in general surgery at Unimi. Thank you, Anna.
Hello, everyone, again. I would like to start this testimonial by saying that this program has been an adventure. The years spent in medical school are sometimes a struggle, and finding one's own voice and purpose are not an easy thing to do. One of these struggles were represented by the doubt of what career path do I want to follow? How do I integrate what I want with what brings progress, and how do I get a voice to spread the knowledge that I acquire? The answer was not straightforward because we didn't have all the basic background to reach this answer. But when I found out about Virgilio program, that rang a bell. And it was the curiosity of the unknown. It was the curiosity of discovering something that we read about, but we don't do as doctors. And so that lighted me up, because it was the chance and the experience that I was actually looking for, the research. As doctors, we don't have access to basic research, to the teachings of it, and how to integrate that with our clinical practice, if not by hearing or reading it from other people's experiences, not our own. And Virgilio program helped me to develop research abilities, critical thinking, scientific writing skills, showed me how important is the collaboration in between the professionals and in between different structures in order to reach your goals. It was not always a smooth journey, and I will also expose the things that are not the most cheerful, and that was having a conflict with my mentor. Not a real conflict, I guess it was just not the right mentor for this path, and that was disappointing because at that moment in my life I thought I was failing. The good thing was that Richa was around us all the time, and she supported us through all the events, through any problem, through any difficulty that we would encounter, and that felt reassuring, because the way having a mentor that did not support me was disappointing, the same way finding a new mentor made me trust my journey and reminded me that change is always necessary in order to reach your goals. The greatest discovery after this program was the fact that I can keep doing research while following a surgical path, and that is something I believed it was impossible before starting this program. I would like to thank a lot Fondazione Cariplo, and I would like to thank a lot Richa, who supported us all the time. And I would like also to thank my new mentor, Massimo Locati, who unfortunately is not here today, but he was a very inspiring and present person during this thing. Thank you so much.
Now I would like to invite Martina Paredi from Unimib. Martina has been accepted into the residency program in pediatrics at Unimib. Thank you, Martina.
So, hello to everybody. Again, I hope you're not tired of me yet. I'm Martina. I just wanted to say that the first time that I heard of the Virgilio program, I was a third-year medical student, and I was really full of questions and with very few answers. So as soon as I heard the presentation of the Virgilio program, I decided that I would try to be a part of it, and I would do the same choice again. My first lab rotation was in Laboratorio Tettamanti in Monza, and I was under the tutorship of Dr. Chiara Palmi. It was a very interesting experience, but I have to say that it was my first time in a lab, and I was quite scared because I had no idea what to expect, what the environment was like. So it was at the beginning quite challenging, but step after step, I understood how a lab works and how to behave and how times are and so on. And in the end, I really learned a lot. My second lab rotation was abroad. I went to Boston Children's Hospital in Boston. I had the luck to share this experience with two of my friends and colleagues that are here with us today. And I was in the Roberto Chiarles lab, and this was really a great experience because not just for the international environment that I met there in Boston, but because lab topics were really interesting, and it was really a great experience. I had the chance to meet a lot of different people coming from different parts of the world, and it truly was amazing. So really, I'm very happy I had the opportunity to go to Boston. My third lab rotation was again at Laboratorio Tettamanti, because my first experience was really great, so I decided to come back. This time I was under a different group with another PI who was Dr. Serafini. And after my third rotation, I decided to stay there in Laboratorio Tettamanti and to do my thesis project that I have presented to you before. However, Virgilio program is not just about lab rotations, so of course lab rotations are important, but there are also other aspects. So in these years I had the opportunity to understand scientific methodology, biostatistics, ethics in research, but also scientific communication, scientific writing. But it also allowed me to participate to seminars, webinars, congresses, and I had the chance to meet a lot of different people, so tutors, professors, but also students from other university. And I think that the opportunity to meet people that share your passions and your interests in such stimulating environment, it's really a golden chance, and I'm so happy to have been part of it. To conclude, I want to say that with Virgilio program, I really learned a lot. I must say that I have answered a lot of the questions I have made in these years, but a lot of questions still remains. But I think that this is also the beauty and the meaning of research, so that from questions, other questions are born. And therefore, there is the possibility to create pathways that may lead, hopefully, to answers. So that's why I like Virgilio program, and I'm really happy to have been a part of it. Thank you. And I also want to thank Richa, especially, because she really was the center of the project, Fondazione Cariplo, but also all the students that I had the opportunity to be with, even if for just a seminar or a work project, and really thank to everybody. Okay.
Now we have a special guest. One of our ex-students, Stefano Rigo, is here. Stefano from Humanitas University. Stefano completed his MD degree last year, and he was accepted into a fellowship program at Vanderbilt University in the US. And now he's come back, and he'll be soon starting his residency in anesthesiology at Humanitas. So I thought since he was here, it'll be nice to hear from him how did his research experience, fellowship experience go. Thank you, Stefano.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you, Richa, for the opportunity to say just a few words about the experience that I had. That is an experience that started during the Virgilio project. So I basically started training in the autonomic nervous system, in the autonomic dysfunction at Humanitas University under the mentoring of Professor Furlan, and in a joint project that was run together with Professor André Diedrich at Vanderbilt University Medical Center, it arose the possibility for me to join a fellowship program that I took, like an opportunity that I took during this year. So I flew in the middle of the pandemic to the US, which was not an easy thing. And I found wonderful people. I found a great environment that really was fully committed to research. I think that it was really needed for me because I wanted to see a little bit more of the work that I did during this year, and I had the opportunity to do so at Vanderbilt under great mentors. Professor Diedrich was the mentor for the research side, but Dr. Italo Biagioni is the chief of the Autonomic Dysfunction Center at Vanderbilt, was a great mentor too. And I'm really proud, and this opportunity gave me the possibility to follow original research projects, to write my first publication that is under review now. So it was a great experience, and now I decided to come back here and try to continue this path in Italy. So thank you so much.
We would like to now give out the certificates to our students. And I need to confess, we were planning to give you this book, but unfortunately, they were out of print, and the Libreria had promised to deliver, but we only received a few copies, only Humanitas received few copies for their students. So others, UNIMI and UNIMIB students, as soon as we receive them, I'll be in touch with you, asking your addresses, and we'll post you, okay? But this is the book, The Vanishing Physician Scientist. I would like to invite Professor Silvia Della Bella from UNIMI, and Professor Ilaria Rivolta, who's from UNIMIB. Ilaria Rivolta is also our Vice Director for the Department of Medicine and Surgery, to give away the diplomas. Thank you.
Grande orgoglio per noi che la celebrazione. Dicevo che questo è un momento di grande orgoglio, oggi è una giornata di grande orgoglio per noi perché celebriamo appunto la seconda coorte del programma Virgilio, che è frutto di una visione congiunta delle nostre 3 università, quindi Università di Milano Bicocca, Università Statale di Milano e l'Humanities, quindi è un programma davvero importante ed è importante appunto celebrare gli studenti di questa coorte che hanno portato a termine il loro percorso di 3 anni e quindi appunto è importante congratularci con voi. Io penso che in questo momento più che mai sia importantissimo che un medico abbia anche un approccio molto vicino alla ricerca biomedica, quindi l'integrazione del sapere che deriva dalla scienza biomedica e dall'approccio biomedico con una pratica e una specializzazione clinica sia fondamentale e dia appunto l'opportunità ad un bravo medico di poter affrontare tutte le domande che pone la scienza. Abbiamo già avuto molti esempi nelle talk di oggi e quindi mi sembra importante che noi come faculty possiamo offrire questa possibilità agli studenti già durante il loro percorso di laurea, quindi cercare di avvicinarli alla scienza offrendo loro esperienze che possono essere esperienze di laboratorio e cercando appunto di costruire un curriculum che favorisca l'esposizione a questo mondo biomedico. Quindi noi cerchiamo di fare del nostro meglio per questo. Puntate sempre in alto, cercate sempre mentor che vi ispirino in qualche modo, anche fosse solo per una questione di metodo. Poi l'ambito può variare, no? Poi è giusto che in queste 3 rotation sperimentiate laboratori diversi, quindi anche campi diversi, non lo farete mai più nella vita, no? Quindi anche per i giovani del Virgilio è importantissimo questo aspetto. Quindi auguro a tutti voi in bocca al lupo, quindi da parte nostra va il nostro in bocca al lupo a tutti voi, mantenete l'entusiasmo che avete avuto per portare a termine questo percorso, perché comunque è stato un percorso faticoso, l'avete fatto benissimo, quindi mantenete questa esperienza con voi, portate con voi l'entusiasmo che vi ha guidato e quindi anche da parte mia un ringraziamento a tutto lo staff, ovviamente a Ricia, a tutti anche i leadership, i mentors accademici, a dottor Ciombo che è qui con noi e quindi niente, un augurio, un in bocca al lupo a tutti voi. Congratulazioni.
Okay, so hello everybody, and I'm just a little shy because on peut dire, vous êtes la crème, de la crème. And so, I was astonished by being here and listen to your presentation. And when in 2015 they hired me in Fondazione Cariplo, they asked me, what do you think about the basic science researchers? And I was, I am a vascular surgeon, and so I was kind to reply, don't bother me with this BS. And so, it's now I realize that the basic science is very important, even for a surgeon. And I'm happy to have seen that there are many women in surgery, first of all, and there are many surgeons that are involved in this kind of program. So in 2017, when I was appointed to design the program, the MD PhD program, I was curious to see what are the we can say the features that a physician scientist has to to have. And I'm sorry, I'm switching to French, and I know it's different. It's difficult for me, and this is we can say a dream almost come true, because you are the best étudiant que j'ai connu pendant toute on peut dire ma carrière dans la fondation. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for have participated to this kind of program. And also, I want to thank all the mentors and all the people that have had this kind of trust in you. And because, now I am on a wheelchair, but I'm still in love with medicine. And you are you are the manifestation of this kind of love that we have for medicine and for science as a whole. And okay, that's all. Thanks.
Thank you. Before we just close the day and Clara takes over, I would just request all the Humanitas students to collect their books, okay? And Unimi and Unimib students, I'll be in touch with you, okay? Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. Stay in touch, okay? Thanks.
E ricordatevi che per tutti quelli che vogliono proseguire con la European MD PhD Association, una serata così in cui chiacchieriamo di scienza, di occasioni, di dottorati, di carriere, di ricerca, curiosità, il ristorante si chiama La Collina dei Ciliegi. Ci si mette 10 minuti a piedi e ci aspettano per le 7:30, ok? A carico di EMPA.
Adesso portiamo su tutto. Fin là in fondo? Posso? Oh la Madonna!